Hello, good day. My name is Tosin Odedele, and I'd like to welcome you to my first video for 2020. And what I want to do in this video is very brief to say. I just want to share my thoughts on the recent happenings around the world and in Nigeria, particularly over the last 2 days. Before I share my thoughts on Miriam Sander and the case that broke out yesterday, I want to quickly share my heartfelt condolence with the family of Kobe Bryant. Till this moment, it's been difficult to process that particular news of his death. And for those of us that actually grew up in my own generation, seeing Kobe on the courts and what he epitomized and all of that was something so real and so hard to digest. The fact that he's no more, and I pray for the family. I pray for God's strength for the family, for the fans of LA Lakers and the residents of Los Angeles as a whole, because Kobe was known as the king of LA, and he lived a very great life. Having said that, I want to quickly say something about what I learned from the story of Miriam Sander. So yesterday, for those of us who have not been following the story, Miriam Sander is the woman who was convicted yesterday for killing or murdering her husband and was sentenced to death by hanging. She was a victim. I can't say she was a victim of domestic violence, but the story actually read that she stabbed her husband because of infidelity and the fact that he was planning to bring in another woman into the home. Now, the story reads that it was in a state of anger that she actually took that action against the husband. So, and she was in an angry state, and then whatever actually happened in that particular emotional state. Now that brings to fore two very important things that we need to actually be very mindful of, especially for those of us that are married. Okay, so over the last few days I've been sharing posts on the need to be able to master your emotions, because in your inability to master your emotions, there is great danger. There's the tendency to actually destroy a lot of things. There's a great tendency to put yourself at great risk. So the two issues that were very apparent in the case of Miriam Sander was the case of domestic violence and, of course, the state of anger. Okay, so whether she was a victim of domestic violence or it was the late husband that was a victim of domestic violence, I do not have that information. Only the things that I read in the news are the things that I know of. But one thing that is certain that has been established was the fact that she was in an angry moment. So, and that anger actually was what led to the husband's death. Now, what do I want to share with you? I want to share with you the fact that if you don't know what your triggers are, if you don't know what are the things that actually get you mad, and if you don't know what are the likely actions that you could take when you are in that state of anger, then it means that you have not known yourself enough. You are not self-aware enough. Okay, but this is one thing you should always do when you have an angry situation, when you are in an emotional state of anger. First thing first. Okay, try as much as possible to walk away from that spot or from that situation or from that moment where the anger has been built up or is about to be expressed. Okay, now, and you can't do this if you don't know what your triggers are and if you don't know what the signs of an angry moment are. These are very key things that you should know as a person. Okay, because if you don't know the words, the situation, the circumstances, the people that are likely going to trigger anger in you, you would have gotten to the point of anger before you actually even know what to do. And at that particular point in time, you are already in auto response. Okay, so once you identify what your triggers of anger are, okay, one thing you can do is to walk away from that particular situation. You don't necessarily have to show your grievance. You don't necessarily have to let the person know that you're angry. Okay, and that's the mistake we always do. We always want to act in a manner that lets the other person know that we're angry and the depth of the anger that we feel. So at that moment when you're trying to let that person know that this person must actually, I must show this person must actually know that I'm angry. Okay, at that point in time when you are processing such thoughts and you're thinking like that, you are most likely going to do something very, very stupid. So when next you are angry, okay, pause for a moment, walk away from that situation, and then come back and then address the situation when things are much calmer and people are capable of listening to what it is that you have to say. I'm not saying hide your grievance. I'm not saying sugarcoat the fact that a situation or a person or something has done something that you don't like. But I'm saying that at that point when you're angry, pause, walk away, okay? Let that whole negative energy and all of it calm down. Process everything that you want to do. Know the end of the action that you want to take, okay? And then come back and address the issue. That way, you save yourself a lot of headache and you save yourself a lot of stress. I hope this helps you. Please share this video with somebody that needs to listen to this video, who needs to be able to learn how to manage his or her anger. Thank you very much for watching. I'll come again some other time with another interesting message or information to share with you. See you.